sides together and the ends and the guts on the inside and make sure everything all lines up and everything. I'm not going to do that because I'm gluing this bad boy shut. So sit there and hold it in place. I'm gluing my fingers to it. Try just a bit. While that's drying, I'm going to pull the glue tag off the other side. It's also cool to do this too because this is going to be for this will either be for my Thousand Suns or for my Death Guard, depending on if the crusher track, the one I'm going to get a kit like this with crusher tracks on it. I might wait to do the other Land Raider till that comes in. I do have one with oppressor tracks coming, but that might, I might hold off on that one and just do the one for the crusher tracks instead. So this one. So dry. Now, depending on whether I pick up the oppressor tracks or if I pick up the crusher tracks, will determine which Legion gets this. I would not use this for a Space Marine for a standard Space Marine army. Because the tracks really don't look like something a rig. Well, I mean, maybe for the see, that one is directional. See, there's a notch right there. So when on my dry fit, it didn't quite go together correctly. Now on this one, I'm going to be a little bit more careful because I went way too deep on the clippers. Ba-ding! See, I'm getting down really close to that piece that I broke on the other one. There we go. Finish my cleanup. Get in there and sand that piece down. So if you look here, this piece goes here, and that right there needs to sit right up there. So that's why I know that this piece needs to be on the other side. I didn't notice that on the dry fit. So, again, dry fit is key. And again, for the most part, the tracks are omnidirectional. I mean, I can make this thing look like they're saw blades with teeth digging into the ground, or I can make it look like, I can make it look like just. Now, see, that's a better fit than the other piece. As you can see here, now we don't have the fitment issues that I was seeing on the other piece. We can do a little filing. Again, dry fit, dry fit, dry fit. You guys hear whining going on in the background. That's my dog demanding my attention. She's not getting any attention from me right now, though. Got all my attention paid towards this bad boy right here. Now, this is the one thing I was worried about when I went to go start putting this thing together, is that the tolerances are so tight that if you're not careful when you go to lay the pieces in here, this thing is not going to seal up very well. So the bottom has now got a big old gap. So, that being said, I've got to push and maneuver this bottom piece until I can get this bottom piece set down in there. So, I'm going to actually take this bottom piece out altogether if I can get it off. And I'm going to assemble it with the two pieces together. Because doing it that way, that's just begging for problems. So, again, from the dry fit, I know that this should go together without any problems. So I'm going to take this piece, put it back in here, and I'm going to basically wiggle it around until it lines up the right way. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to throw some glue on this side. While I glue my fingers to the model. And again, with the two sides glued together, you can get this down in there, and it is a tight fit. I mean, it is really, really well put together. I mean, it's really, really well designed. So there's the bottom. So now I'm going to do the front piece. I'll run glue on my back side, on the other side here. Don't even have to cut off the mounting nubs, because this thing mounts around them. So, again, the layout on this kit is really, really nice. It sits on the inside of the tracks, inside of the guides. There's the mounting nub I was referring to when I did the tracks before. With the other tracks, they sat down inside these guides, and so that in itself, those had to be cut off and filed down. Don't have to do it with these. And I got this piece that's going to lay down in here like so. And again, you can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and run some glue on this. Glue here. Glue there. It's pretty excited. I wasn't expecting these things to show up until tomorrow. Post office, they weren't going to be here till tomorrow, but they got here today, which makes me extremely happy. And again, some of the instructions online have been, leave a piece loose. I've got everything pretty much glued into place, and I think this is going to work out just fine. I'm going to set this off to the side and let it dry, and then I'll start putting the tracks themselves on there. We'll get some good close-up pictures of how this all looks. Again, one side, 15 minutes to put together, and that's with mistakes. There will be some glue cleanup I have to do. I'll have to go in here and file some, like in here I've got glue marks, so like especially up here in the front, I'll have to file that off. Once everything dries. He's got a really, really nice, really, really nice, dozer blade setup that I can get for one of these things too. Shouldn't mess with those until all the glue's dry, to be honest. Yeah, that's a pretty tight fit right there. It's like German engineering. It's good and tight. Throw some glue in there. Alright, I'll set this off to the side, and I'll come back when it's all dried. So I've got all my other pieces I'll put over here, and then I will get it, finish it off, and then we'll see what this thing looks like with the tracks on it. I'll take a break, and then I'll get that other side put together. See, there's one little warp here, and that kind of concerns me, but it doesn't, because There we go. There. See, so now it's no longer an issue. And these do have a little bit of give to them, depending on how well you have them seated. So like on this part right here, you know, there's going to be a little bit of give, but not a lot. So I'm going to pause the video and let this thing dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the make some fine-tuning adjustments on here, just to make sure everything's down where it needs to be, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll put some tracks on. All right, here we go. So I need the 10-link section across the top. It looks like it's going to end right before the road wheels. All right, let me go in here, take the hobby knife out, get in there and clean this. This has got some flash back here. The old trusty emery board, if I can find it. There's some bubbling on the back of the track that I can file off. Look at that, nice and clean. I'll hit the ends right here. On the side. So that piece is going to go here. I'm not going to glue anything into place yet because I need a 3 and a 4. So I need a 3 and a 4 to go here. Three. That's 4. And then a 3. Let me check the alignment if I do the 3 first. Again, I'll have to go in there and do some filing on the tracks. Yeah, that's a little bit better because it gets it closer to the front of the guy wheel. Let me slide these over here. Okay, again, I'm assembling. I want to make, and the way that the road wheels work is, if you look, let me zoom this in just a hair. So what should happen is you're going to do the first part of the bend right there at the road wheel, and then we're going to take the 4-piece, or did I say that I was going to do the 3-piece? I'm going to do the 3 this way. Yep, so see right there, I got to file that off. Again, test fit, test fit, test fit. There, and then we'll go to 4-link or 3-link first, because we want to make sure is that we get this lined up so it doesn't look like the track is pushing up. So like there, if you look, it'll actually look like the track's not pushing up and off. And then that piece will sit right there like that. And then this piece will sit right there. Like so. And again, and you see sharp. So, alright, I think I'm going to have to do the 4-piece first. Like this. And then the 3. Like that. And then, alright, so, like that. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to run now, since I'm not going all the way back on the road wheel, I gotta check to make sure I know where I'm putting my glue. So, again, we're gonna have a gap right there, which I might actually take a piece of this scrap and put it underneath there to kind of beef things up. I can lay that down in there. So that way it kind of props it up a little bit. So that way I don't lose that single piece that I'm going to have to put in there. Now, this is the part where you got to kind of work fast because super glue will dry quickly. So I'm going to put glue there, there. I didn't separate these two pieces out altogether. So, again, I'll take this piece, put it out like that. Oh, just glue my fingers together again. Now, give this a couple minutes to dry here. Already looking extremely badass. It's probably my favorite look for a tank. I don't know what it is about these things, but it's my favorite look. Alright, so on the front, we need a single. So I'll do like so. Again. Trick is some of these is to make sure that when you get it down in there that the little tooth on the inside seats down inside that rail, and that'll help guide the track around the outside. And it's I mean it's a tight fit. I'm gonna put this next piece on. Same deal. You want to make sure you get that thing seated down in there as well as you can. It's going to hold it in place, and it's going to keep the tracks going straight around like that, according to, so I need a 3-piece. Man, this is so awesome. It's a great kit. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with the tracks that this guy puts out. And this is just icing on the cake. Because this is bomb right here. This thing is just so cool. And again, you gotta watch it when you're putting stuff on there. In here there's no guide track. So when you're going to put the track links in, you might have a tendency to kick off to the side. That's going to throw your alignment off altogether. So you got to be really, really careful. So I'm hoping that when I get the Liberator track set or the Crusher, well, depending on which way I go, or whichever one me and Tom decide on, I won't be poking my hands so hard trying to put the damn thing together. This is actually hurting the crap out of my fingers, which is cool because, you know, blood for the blood god. But this is going to be for another Chaos Legion, so I'm not really sure whether I should say poop for the poop god or magic for the magic god. And again, taking my time, going all the way around. Again. You see that back piece? It's just a little bit. Looks good. Again, Tom's kit uses a lot of universal pieces because it's working with kits that he already has existing. So. So here's the part where I didn't follow my own advice. Or at least forgot to trim up the back of the track. So now I got to trim it up while it's on the tank, and then so I can get this one piece to line up in here. I shaved in a couple of the teeth on the inside so that way it fit a little bit easier. There we go. It's these kits are so worth the time that it takes to put them together. I believe I have to take 2 more single track links and put it back here. Man, the tolerances on these things are so tight. It's awesome. I mean, these are, this is, I think the quality on this kit exceeds that of Forge World, to be honest. My Spartans didn't have the new, are the new ones, so they don't have the old problems that they have with the tracks. Man, they'd have just hired this guy and his buddy, the guy that created the kit, did the CAD draftings of the kit. Man, because it's kind of disheartened a little bit when I picked up the Spartan kit and everything was the sides were all pre-assembled. It's like, what? Since when is that a kit? Tank tracks, you have track links and all that other fun jazz, and we didn't have any of that with that kit. Everything was pre-assembled and everything else. So here comes the fun part. This is the last track link I have to put on, and what I'm having to do is I'm probably gonna have to. The last couple pieces are not glued in yet, so like I didn't glue this piece, or that piece down, because I'm gonna have to figure out where I've got to file it to get these two join up in here. So there's my 3 pieces. So I'm gonna take my file that part. What I've done is I've taken just a little bit off of each piece, so that way when I go to fit these together, it's going to shrink the space between the links, but it's not going to be so bad that that it's going to cause a problem when you go to look at it. You're not going to see a big gap. Hopefully that took off enough. Again, I want to take off just enough to shrink the space between the tracks, but not enough to where it's actually super noticeable. And again, this is the fun about using a third-party kit. Now, I probably could have gained some space going in there. Every place else is pretty tight. I don't think I could have gained any space going any place, maybe up there. But yeah, I don't think I could have gained any space going any place else. So I'm going to take it for what it is, and then just massage these tracks until I get them in place. So this piece is going to go here. See, I'm almost there. I gotta just take a little bit more off. Let me find one of my needle files so I can get out of a little space. There we go. combination of needle files, emery boards, and everything else. And I should be able to get these pieces to fit. Alright, so I got them. Now it's just, I'm going to glue this one. Now it's going to come to a sharp point in the back, so when I assemble the other side, I will try to make sure that matches as much as possible. This is pretty intense as far as a kit goes. Go ahead and get that glued in there. This piece looks like it's already pretty much glued in. Probably could have got a little bit more out of it by filing to get it down a little bit more, but I was already pretty much pushing it as it was. So I just glue these in place. Make sure that they, again, shift things around where it doesn't look like there's a gap at all. As close to as possible as I can to it. Now the joys of working with super glue, because I'm gluing my fingers to everything right now. Man, that looks awesome. You zoom back out again. Oh, dude, that is so badass. It is like really, really awesome. Of course, you know, again, with the point back there, it's not that big of a deal. And as far as, you know, spacing, if you look here in the front, I could have got some more room out of there if I'd have done a better job of cleaning the tracks. And not only that, but when you build one of his kits, man, you always get so many extra tracks. Man, think about that. How is that going to look on there? You know, if I, you know, put this piece here, and then, you know, these pieces there like that, and make it look like it's carrying extra tracks. You know, for Nurgle, yeah, probably wouldn't care about extra tracks. You just slap some wood on there and some snotlings and they'll hold it together, or some, you know, Nurglings and hold it together. But man, all right, well there you go. I will take and shoot a step-by-step, you know, tutorial, put this up on Pop Nerd. It should be releasing here in the next couple of days. This video will be going out tonight, and then once I'm all done with the second side of the assembly, I will come back and show everybody what the Land Raider looks like with all complete, with this and the other side and everything hooked in between. So because again, we have this piece right here that goes in here like this right there. Go like that, and I want to see show everybody how that looks in there with everything all put together. And this actually looks like it can go on after everything's assembled. It just slides right in. Boom, shalaka-laka. So, yep, there it is, the Sagittarius with the oppressor tracks. Again, extremely impressive. It's a great kit. My fingers hurt from getting poked at, but these things just look, I mean, it just looks like you're about ready to mow down the enemies of the, you know, getting ready to mow down the enemies of your chosen Chaos God. For this one, it's probably going to wind up being the Death Guard, just because, you know, it looks like something they would drive. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Total of maybe 30 minutes to put one side together, so it's going to increase my assembly time on Land Raider by quite a bit. But that's okay, because I'm going to assemble the other side, and then I'm going to have it all put together, and I'm going to show you guys everything I got. So I'm going to... Can't very well have a Land Raider of the Chaos guys floating around with a damn Crux Terminatus on it, because honestly, why would they care? There we go. Alright, well I'll be back, and I'll be posting pictures of the finished project soon.